Let's go live to the Deputy Premier and Education Minister in New South Wales, Prue. Thanks for your time. First of all, suggestions that it would be six-figure salaries off the back of the graduates receiving that. The Federation President, Teachers Federation President Henry Rajendra earlier said that that's not right. But are you confident that the pay rise itself will be enough to retain the teachers in the state?
Well, the real key thing about this particular offer that's been accepted by teachers yesterday is that it comes off the back of the structural adjustment to their wages significantly that was made last year. So that structural reset, that biggest pay rise in a generation, this ensures this 3%, 3% and 3% ensures that wages of our teachers remain competitive. We know that that pay rise, in addition to a heap of other things that we're doing for teachers, is actually bearing fruit. We've seen the vacancies come down in New South Wales for the first time in a very, very long time. We started term 3 with 24% fewer vacancies. So we want to maintain that. We want to continue to attack the vacancies. We're starting to see some green shoots. We hope this will continue that way. Driving vacancies down, keeping retention of experienced teachers in the system, and of course encouraging graduates to go into teaching as a career.
Is it too far to say this right to disconnect, which has been legislated federally, should be adopted, say, from 3 p.m, which I think this arrangement does do for teachers? Why not make it 4 or 5 p.m. to enable parents to engage with the teachers?
There's actually nothing in this agreement that puts an hour on that arrangement in terms of digital downtime or right to disconnect. That's not the case. This is actually not about parents communicating with teachers. It's actually more about the Department of Education constantly putting admin burden and workload onto our educators. So parents absolutely will continue to engage with teachers. So
can you clarify for us then on how
there's nothing in the agreement about 3 p.m.
Okay, all right, and that includes on the department engagement as well.
Well, really, the digital downtime was about making sure that teachers were not continually bombarded with department admin burden after hours. This does not have anything to do with teachers being contacted by parents. That's a normal and brilliant part of the education system. We rely on teachers and parents having that relationship about their children in order to see our children succeed at school. That's the relationship that teachers are trained to foster, and that's the magic bit about education, one of the magic bits. So it's got nothing to do with parents contacting teachers. It's more about actually getting to one of the root causes of the admin burden and the workload on teachers that saw so many of them under the previous government leaving in droves.
And do you feel, you spoke about the green shoots earlier, do you feel optimistic about this deal and the way that it can set this career path into the future? We've heard so many times over the decades about Scandinavia and elsewhere where teaching is elevated, one of the sought-after professions. We're still a long way from that.
I do feel optimistic. We certainly do have to, and we've done this so far in the last 18 months, sort of really attack all the problems that and the challenges we face in education through the prism of the teaching profession, because at the end of the day, it's all about improving outcomes for our children. The single biggest indicator of a child's success at school is how much time they spend with a qualified teacher. So we do have to respect those teachers. Paying them more is part of that because it's a function of respect, but also making sure they have time to actually teach, not spending all their day filling out needless paperwork, and ensuring that we're making teaching attractive. Our society actually literally depends on it.
It certainly does. There's no doubt about it. It's so pivotal to the future of our society. But just finally, the Albanese government, I heard from the Federation before, they want them to step up with funding. Yep. What's your message to the Albanese government today?
Absolutely. I mean, we could be doing so much more if they come to the table with full and fair funding for our public schools. That is the promise of Gonski. We've never, ever actually fully realised it. And what an opportunity the federal Labor government has to finally do that. by giving full and fair funding to our public schools around the country.
And they're still a way off from that?
We're still in negotiations. We've been in negotiations for a while. I'm hopeful we will get there. We've really got no choice. I'm not going to be signing up to anything that doesn't do anything but deliver full and fair funding for our kids in New South Wales, that's for sure.
There's the message for Jason Clare if he's watching this afternoon. Thanks, Prue Carr. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kieran.